We are live on the Unleash You Now page and on our YouTube page, and I'm so happy to be here. We've been planning this for I feel like years. I feel like we've been planning this for years, and yet I was still late. I really was geeking out about something. I like to call, when you get in the zone of like your expertise or like what you really enjoy or things that speak to your heart, whatever you call that place that you call it. I just say in the zone, right? I call that zone Narnia, right? It's like my mythical land. And when I
Yep.
get in that land, oh boy, it's a wrap, Jack. Like you ain't getting me back. Right. So I was just like having all kinds of fun and here like, hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up? Like, you're late. I'm like, oh man, I am. My bad. I got caught up. Here we go. Here's the link. What's up, Maria? Maria Grand joining in. Look, I do this cool thing. It's really appropriate all the time. I could do this where it shows the person in the comment in the screen. Look how cool that is. Right?
I
Like,
You know what, Michael? I don't even think you need me here right now. I almost want to just disappear and go, "This is all about Michael. Let's go."
right? Listen, it's not even my name or picture on the screen. It's Maria. Right? Oh, here. Let's throw another one out there. Whoop, whoop. See? Spencer talking about us.
Oh, man.
Look, I should have brought Spencer on here for him to introduce you because he's the only one that can do credit to introducing someone as amazing like you.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay,
Well, but see, we
right
didn't
here.
plan this right, Michael, did we?
We
We did.
planned this perfectly. All right, and I gotta give some family love. There's my mama. Look at her saying hi. She's always one of so many words. She saves them for all me in person. You know what I mean?
And
So anyway, I have the one, the only Canadian's finest, Natalie here because I love my Canadians, as I have to keep saying that now because I've been accused of not. Um, what's up, Natalie? Thank you so much for joining us.
well, thank you for having me today, Michael. And when you talked about Narnia, it made me think of my dad because when I was growing up, he read to us, and Narnia was one of his books that he actually read to us. So thank you for the reminder of my father, and thank you for commenting about being from Canada because I'm very proud of where I'm from. And in one of your videos you did this week, I was quick to mention to you that, there are beautiful people up here in Canada.
I saw it and I was like, whoa, hold up before I get accused. And it was weird. It all happened the same week. I got accused multiple times of something wrong against Canada, and I'm like, no, I love Canada. Like you guys are awesome. Like some
We
of my favorite people are from Canada.
yeah, we
You
we
being
we
one.
yeah, we have our moments. I'll give you that. But then who doesn't? And we just carry on with life and away we go.
Right. So now you do this awesome work with, being using your creativity, right? Which some of the things that we've talked about, I've used for myself, and the creativity has given me clarity, and I'm a huge fan of clarity. Right. So I always say like I might not be able to see very well. Like they want me to like have all kinds of things on my eyes so I could drive or whatever, but I don't do any of that because I say I might not be able to see very well, but my vision is clear. If you know what I mean.
Yes.
Right. And Andrew said, "What's up?" So I gave him a little love by putting him on the screen. I'll do it for Lisa as well. So definitely say something in the comments, and clearly I'll throw you on the screen no matter what. So before we get the journey of you and how we got here, right? Let's talk a little bit about right, like what you do, what you're about, your present state, and then we'll almost work back to this moment.
Okay. So my present state right now is very much wrapping my head around creativity and sharing it with as many people as I can. It's been an interesting journey for me because when I got into art, it wasn't something I had planned, it just happened. And so it's taught me that we are all creative beings, that we don't have to have the ability to draw anything. I don't draw, but yet I work with colors and I paint, which is really awesome for me. And as a result of that, it sort of blew open my world of like the creativity we have is all around us. And it doesn't just apply to specific people who are artists, who are writers, who are dancers and whatnot. Creativity is all around us. So I absolutely love when I talk to people and I can help them to understand that creativity is huge. Like it's absolutely huge. And my mission 2 years ago when I started with my art wasn't to ever get into the realm of talking about creativity or sharing it with anyone. It was just to do the artwork and share that with people. But the more I get into it, the more it's all about creativity. It's just it's out there. It's available to each and every one of us, and I want to use my enthusiasm for that to share it with pretty much whoever will listen to me. So I've gone from started as a writer, went to an artist, and now it's blowing open the world to creativity and bringing it into people's lives because I feel it's going to make a huge difference to them, as opposed to just thinking we're not creative, going through life, being bored, not happy with what we're doing, to I can be creative. I've got a talent to do whatever it is. And thank God I understand that creativity isn't just this one little group of people. We are all creative. So that's sort of where I am right now. And I will share that with whoever wants to listen to me.
I love that. So how did you get to the idea, right? Where, because before you, I mean, I didn't view creativity the way you helped me view creativity, right? You helped me expand my horizon on creativity. But how did you get to the point where you realized how being creative could help and enhance so many different parts of your life, of your business, of your relationships, etc.?
For me, it's when you talked about sort of being in your zone with the Narnia world. I mean, that's where I go. And I have to admit that those are some of the happiest times of my life. Like when I zone the
Mm.
world out and I can sit down at, let's say, 9 o'clock in the morning and all of a sudden it's noon. And I don't even know where the time's gone. I've just all of a sudden looked at my clock and gone, it's noon. What happened? As kids, we used to be really creative and playful and do all kinds of fun things. And then we grew up and we changed because we've sort of said, well, I'm an adult now, so I shouldn't be doing this. And I've got, important things I need to be doing because someone else has told me to.
Mm.
But for me, in finding that, like, if you allow your creativity to come out and you spend time in it, I truly feel it will awaken you as an individual as you know what, it's okay if I do this and I spend time with it for myself and sort of forget about anyone else, forget about wanting things to be perfect. The zoned out world for me, and that may sound really strange to people because I think it's zoned out. So what does she do to zone out? But it's it's being in that place of passion, of peace, of calm that especially in this year, it's not necessarily there for people. So if I can show you how to take that and build on it and get to that happy place, doing something as simple as coloring. Like I've said to people, I don't care what you do, and I don't care if you only do it for 5 minutes. I just want you to go and get creative. And I want you to do what speaks to you. I don't want you to do what speaks to me. I don't want you to do what your neighbor thinks you should be doing. I want you to do what speaks to you because that's where the gift is. That's where the gold is, as far as I'm concerned.
So how do you get here? Like, how do you get to this point? Like, how that journey? What does that journey look like?
So when you say this point, you mean in talking to you today or
Yeah,
just,
this point in your life, and we are talking today, so I agree with both.
yeah. So, I mean, as far as getting here and talking to you, I was thinking earlier today, I don't even remember how the connection with you and I went. I just knew all of a sudden we were connected. And what's been so cool about that is I've learned so much from you and the other people that are part of your family. And you've got a big family going on out there, which is absolutely awesome because we all learn from one another.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, if I'm going to grow as an individual and get my message out there and move myself forward in whatever way it is I want to creatively, then I have to start asking people, okay. And that's exactly what I did with you. Like to get here today to this moment was I'd seen you interview Chris and I went, okay, I need to do this, Michael. I'm ready to be interviewed and will you let me be on your show? And you went, yeah, okay. Like it was so easy. So thank you for that.
Oh, one of the biggest things with I always find in like life business, right? Life or business is like the ask, right? The power of the ask.
Yeah.
It's like, do we really ask for what we want? Like where
No.
we want to go, what we want to do, right? Most of the time we're like, man, I wish I could do something like that. All right. And me, I always try to, and I mean, we had conversations before and talked before that message. So it wasn't just you did two of the things I absolutely love, right? You did the ask, which we see, right? And that's how you got here right now talking to me, doing this, right? But before that too, you did this thing like you built your relationship with me,
Right.
right? We had multiple conversations before. You asked me questions, I asked you questions. You helped
Yeah.
me and added value and poured into my cup. I had value and important to your cup. We built that relationship, even though you're in Canada,
Yeah.
right? But the idea is like all too often we see this thing now where, especially with 2020, and everybody's pretty much the wild wild west is online, right? And social
Yeah.
media in particular. And it's like so many people now they send a DM before they even like request or build a relationship or anything, like before we're even friends, right? Or they're asking for a buy,
Yeah.
right? It's funny. Someone was talking about. Someone said to me, "Are you one of those guys where it's just going to be buy something from me?" And in my DM, and I said, I was very, I won't say never because I don't like to use the word never, right?
Yeah.
Or always because I don't like blanket statements. I always feel like it's BS. Or like, no, it always goes that way. As soon as you say that, some crazy stuff's going to happen. It's not going to go that way, right? So I don't like using those terms, but it's so rare that I'm going to ask you to buy something from through your inbox, like 0.0001%. What
Yeah.
I will do is build relationships through messages because it's different than talking in front of everybody on the platform. You can be more open, you can be more direct, you can be more individual addressing where your needs and also pouring how you can help or provide value for someone else in more of an intimate setting, right?
Yeah.
And when I think the messenger is more of an intimate setting, well, I don't want it to be where it's just a pitch fest to me in your inbox. It's like, and it's funny, I'm more in the marketing world when it comes to my mind and or skill set. I market things. I'm decent at that, I guess. All right. People talk to me about that. They don't talk to me about much in life, but they do talk to me about that. And like I don't know who gave the idea that sending someone a DM saying buy something from me, right, was a good practice or idea.
Yeah.
And marketers, we ruin everything. Like we have, and go back in time, we've ruined it, right? Like radio, we ruined. Everybody wanted the music, we put ads, right? Like TV, everybody wanted the show, we put commercials,
Oh, yeah.
right? Your mail, it used to be great to get mail, right? Like how pumped. I remember when I was a kid and I got a letter in the mail, I was like, this is amazing. And then what do? We pumped full your mail of shit you don't want to read ever. Right? It's like we ruined everything. The internet now, how many ads do you have to see just to get to someone's post you're trying to find? I'm like, yo, like, damn it. Right? Like, and also, I don't know what happens when I'm sleeping, but I do know that someone must steal my phone and Google some random weird stuff because I get weird ass ads. Right? Like I got this company, Man Sasquatch. I see their ads like 400 times. I'm like, what is Man Sasquatch? Like, I don't know if it's because I have a beard or what it is, but I see Man Sasquatch like it's going out of style and it drives me banana sandwich, right? I'm like, I don't want to see this ad. Like, I'm not buying Man Sasquatch. Like, I'm already one. I don't need to buy it. Right. So I loved how you handled it. Like, you built a relationship with me and then you were like, hey, Mike, I see what you do sometimes on Unleash You. I want to do that. And hilarious. This is how, like, you're like, I don't care what you think or do, Mike, because you said, yeah, I'm going to schedule it for December. I was like, that's like 3 months from now. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. And the fact that we're here doing this when you scheduled that months ago is no longer impressive to you. But I'm also going to make my head a little bigger for the screen and say, I'm impressed I'm still here. Because I'm horrible at scheduling. But I love how you do that, how you build relationships, because you do the hard work and not just the easy work.
Yeah.
What up, Freddie? Sorry.
Yeah. So it's interesting that when you talk about direct messaging and some of what I've seen for myself that's come through this year, and I'm like you, you'll get something and it's like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Like, we don't have any kind of connection, and I don't even know what to do with this that you've sent me." So I think what makes it easier for me is the fact that I should have grew up with a "I don't wanna bother you" perspective. So
Mm,
for me, I really wanna get to know people, and, I'll be totally honest with you, like, I was sitting here thinking before we got online, and I'm going, "Where's Michael? Has Michael forgotten about me? Should I message Michael?" Like, it was a whole situation of 5 minutes of going through, "What the heck am
that's
I
funny.
supposed to do here?" But at least it's not at 11:45, I sent you a message, "Where the hell are you?" That's not who I am. It's the I wanna give respect where respect is due, and, yeah, I'm not it takes a lot for me to sort of push at people to get what I want, and I usually don't. It's like, "I'll let you come to me
Mm.
'cause it's easier."
Well, I'm glad you didn't do that this time. I'm glad you went for it. My man Freddie told me my beard game is strong, so I'm just leaving that in there for everybody to see. All right. I don't know if anybody caught my live a couple nights ago, but someone was talking about shaving. All right. I said, listen, you know how many people came up to me and told me nice beard? Right? How many people come up to you and said nice shave? And I bet it's more for the beard. You know what I'm saying? So no, but yeah, sorry, that's just me talking trash. I told you before the show, that's what I'm good at.
Yes.
So why is it where people, and you just said you've done this numerous times, why is it that people hold back on, right, where people hold back on going for what they want or and making that ask, right, like they're somewhere in the middle, right, of there where it's like annoying or too far
Mhm,
and just right, right, and you did this, like I love how you did it because you built a relationship with me,
mhm.
right, like you there's a book called Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. It's an old dry book, but I love it. All right. But in this book, he talks about building those relationships. So if you ever need an ask, you have them
Mm.
rather than needing something, not having the relationships and having to try to ask because people then are like, no, you just want something.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And there's people that are, I call them my Dream 100. I'm not going to get into nerd talk right now because Natalie will be like, yo, Mike, shut up. But in my Dream 100, that I've literally have done marketing campaigns for, email sequences for, never asked for a dime from them. Why is because I'm digging that well. So when I need that ask, I can and not feel any way about it because I'm digging that well. I'm building that relationship. I'm being part of it. And I love how you did that. And when you did that, it was a no brainer for me to say yes because you did it the exact way that I love and appreciate. So how does one get more comfortable taking that chance and getting and asking that ask? Right? Because you say you normally didn't do it, but you did do it this time.
Yeah, I think part of it is I'm realizing that the only way I'm gonna move forward is by doing the ask, and I remember someone saying when I was working in the corporate world, "Your answer will always be no if you don't ask the question."
Mm-hmm.
And, some people have said to me, "Don't ask the question if you don't want the answer." So, I mean, it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
double-edged sword, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I am recognizing that if I want to go where I want to go, the only way I'm gonna get there is by putting out those asks when the time is right. It's when it feels right. Now, granted, there have been moments I should have, like, put myself out there a lot sooner, but I have to admit I'm learning this year sort of what success is about, and it's all those little steps that I'm taking, and they're going to amount to something at some point. And I think the biggest thing is having the confidence and trusting in yourself. I mean, oh my God, to learn to trust in myself has been absolutely crucial. But there are still days when I'm not sure about anything, but I keep going. So it's trusting in yourself. It's knowing where you want to go. And if you want to go there and you can build the relationships, then you start asking. And so when it comes to some things, it's like, okay, type the message, and I sit here and I go, okay, do I hit the send button now? And I'll wait, but all of a sudden it's just like hit the button, and you hit it, and it's gone, and you go, oh well, I don't know what's gonna happen now, but the damn thing's gone, and I can't pull it back out of space. But yeah, it's the trusting, and it's taken a lot for me. It's not trusting in others that I have the issue with. It's trusting in myself and going, are they really going to want to talk to me? Are they really going to want to hear what I have to say? And I think what's helped me is that I've had conversations with people in different parts of the world, and they say to me, you got to do something with this. Like, you've got to keep going. Do not keep this to yourself. And you've talked about that. And you've talked about the selfishness of, if I keep it to myself, I'm not going to be helping anybody. And I sit here and go, but I have all of this to share, and I'm not sharing it because I'm too damn scared to share it. And worrying about too, as you talked about the other day, what people are going to think. And I run this through my head and I go, you don't care. And I know there are people out there. I just have, so that sixth sense that says, oh, these people are thinking I'm right whacked out. But I gotta keep moving, because it's people like yourself and others that I've sort of met in the group and that have come along with me this year. And it's like, they're giving me sort of the boost up. You keep going. Do not stop. Like, just, you can't stop now. So if you have to ask somebody for something like this, then you ask. And if they say yes, great. If they say no, well, your loss.
Right. Freddie's killing it today. Freddie said, don't undersell yourself. You're a legend. You just need to believe it. Right. And one of the other things that you just hit on that was huge. You just sounded like me. So 2018. Right. That was so 2018 Michael talk that you just talked. Right. And you were saying, like, I don't want to push people away. Like, I don't want to have them thinking negatively about what I'm saying or doing. Right. But, and that was me 2018 to a key. I was trying to be friendly and love everybody. Right. Like, I was literally doing like, the back of some dude's guitar said love everybody. And I was like, can I buy that guitar from you? And I was like, that's what I was trying to do. And here's the deal. I can love everyone, but some I have to love from afar.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the biggest things for me was I was numbing my message because I didn't want to upset people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can definitely tell I don't do that anymore.
You don't care.
Right? You definitely tell I don't do that anymore. I'm like, curse, 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 curse. Right. Like, the last live event, I thought everybody's going to walk out in a moment. Right. It was November, like 25 people at this like mastermind retreat thing. And I was so out of control. There was like one line where I was so out of control. I literally stopped after I said the line. I was just like, oh man, I'm sorry. Right. Like, everybody should back up in case lightning hits me. Right. Like, cause it was just so out of control. And it's, it's bad when it's bad. Right. Like, You're like, ooh, right. You're like, you ooh yourself. Right. So I oohed myself. And it was, and what I really have to just come to grips with, and it was painful at first, but then it's become, as you see this community is because I stopped doing that. I stopped trying to be a people pleaser of everybody, and I started speaking to my people.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the people we align with, the people that we're on a like mission, right? That we want to be supported in the same community, very much similar, right? Not that we all do the same thing. Right. Spencer says that was an hilarious moment. That was hilarious for you, maybe. For me, I thought I was going to get killed. And Margaret stopped in to say hello. All right. But it's that you're not for everyone. We're not, right? And we're not supposed to be. Finding your people is just as important, right? Just a shade above important as finding out who's not your people.
Yeah.
Right. Because then I'm not wasting as much time. Right. I'm not wasting a message. I'm saying the exact message to people that need to hear it or need to hear it. And in 2018, I was trying to be everybody pleaser. And I imagine many years before that I was. Right. And then finally, like, 2019 hit, and someone was like, Mike, like, you talk like this to your group, like your inner circle. Why don't you ever talk like this out there? I was like, no. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right? Like, don't be stupid. Like, come on. Like, I talk like this out there. You know how many people are going to be like, kill that dude? Right? But it's true. And finally they were like, no, that's called being a coward, Mike. And you normally don't live like that. And I don't know if you know where I come from, right? But you call me a coward. Like, we're about to go old school and skin some 6-shooters, right? And do some 10 steps. Like, don't do that, right? So I was like, whoa. And it's one of those whoa moments. I call them whoa, like Black Rob whoa moments. And he was a rapper that sang a song, whoa, whoever doesn't know that, not like, whoa, why do you say it like that? It was a good song actually. It was like his only good song. After that, every song was like whoa, but just a different name. The right, even Freddie says coward is a no-no. Like, no, that's testing a man's chest. Like, now there's some people you can do that. Their walk of life, like, that means nothing to them. But where you came from, it was like, don't do that, brother. Right? And it after that, I realized, listen, everything I'm doing, I was trying to be dummy down. I was numbing myself, right? So that I wouldn't scare people away because we want numbers. I was like, no, we want our people. We don't want numbers, right? Some guy was laughing at me. He was like, "You only have like 10,000 friends on Instagram." And I was like, "First, I don't have 10,000 friends. Period." Right? Like that's 10,000 people that are on my Instagram. Right? So if you want to make a joke saying I have 10,000 friends, like, no, right? I don't. Right? Like so that's not going to hurt me. And he's like, "You only have 10,000. I have like I think at this point he has like 800,000." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, but you get like 17 likes on your stuff. Like they don't like." And my thing isn't we don't value our stuff by likes. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying clearly you didn't find your people because they don't resonate with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't care about your total number. If you're not impacting that number, what does that number mean? Is it a popularity contest? If it's who can pay for more followers contest? Like, what is this? Because I know some people, they really rack in some money to get some numbers next to their name. I just haven't done that yet. Give me time. Right? But the idea is like, you got to be you because then your people start really coming and attracting to you. Like Maria in this group, right? She said, find your people. I love that. I'll put that on there. Plus the blue and green. We don't run. Right. But it's like Maria's a firecracker. Like she makes me more nervous than I make me. Right. And cause she says that she goes 0 to Philly real fast. Right. And it's hilarious, but it's like we started speaking and it was
Great.
like,
So we've lost Michael for a few minutes. Are you back?
am I back?
We lost you for a second or two.
Oh, good. Whew, I'm here. Right. But Maria's like, she goes 0 to Philly real fast. Right. And when we speak, it's almost like we're speaking a coded language. Right. Because she said, bah, ha, ha, stop it. But she's like, she's phenomenal. Like, she's an awesome person. But when we speak, it's because we're so aligned. We're so like connected that people on the outside that aren't part of the Unleashed hear it and they're like, yo, they're really weird. Right. So it's find your people. And when you start doing that, everything starts clicking more.
Yeah. So I definitely can agree with that. And it's interesting because I have to have these sort of conversations in my head or out loud when I'm wandering around my house kind of going, okay, it doesn't matter. And sometimes it's you worry more about the people that are closest to you than you worry about anyone else. It's like your close family and friends. It's like, okay, what are they going to think? And I am slowly, I respect them and I love them. And at the same time, it's like, but we're also totally different. And because we're totally different, it's okay for me to go off on my own journey and start gathering the people who get what I'm saying. And people keep telling me that you will have the people follow you that need to hear your message or that resonate with what you're sharing with them. And it's taken a long time though to get to that point of, okay, I don't, my family is my family, but they're off doing their own thing. So you go off and do your own thing. You know, I connect with people like you and Spencer, and I go, like, these people are awesome because they're teaching me things, they're asking the right questions, they're getting me thinking. And even going back to your video the other night about the imposter syndrome, and I thought, what a brilliant way to look at it, that it's not that you're an imposter, you're just not where you want to be. So the only way you are going to get there is by taking these steps and just keep going. And I love when people can switch it up for me so that I can look at it from a totally different way so I don't trip myself up. And we had a conversation through Messenger, you know, last weekend or something like that, because I was hitting my head against the wall because we're getting to the end of the year and I was thinking about the success I've had this year. And I totally had to spin the word success because automatically success means money to me. And it's not, it just, my mind goes there. And I thought, you are so going to screw yourself if you keep money attached to that word, because you are going to stop yourself and you are not going to go where you want to go. And I've written about that now. I've shared that, and I thought it's so interesting when I share some of my thoughts to people. I go, "Oh man, where's this going to land?" But I'm getting so much more confident and hit the send button. Do not care where it lands because I occasionally get people who come back and say, "I've actually shared that with somebody else because they're having a bad day and I knew they needed to hear your message." So it's like, love my family, but if this doesn't resonate with you, hey, that's okay because not everything you do resonates with me. And
Mm,
if I'm going to play big, I am seriously going to have to stop worrying about those closest to me. I'm just going to have to
mm,
go. I need to play the stadium now, and follow me if you want. And if it doesn't, then hey, okay, okay. Like it seems so simple and logical, but I can totally relate to anyone who were to say to me, "But what about my family?
mm-hmm,
And what about your family? Because this is your journey, your life." And I've said to many people, I do not want to die with my dreams still in me.
mm,
You even talked about that, getting to the end of your life and going, "Shit, really?" So I sort of look at my age, but I don't, and I go, "But you still got a lot of time to do what you want to do. So forget about how old you are, and just when people tell you you're on the right path, you listen to them.
I
You
love
got to listen to them."
that. Freddie said, "I'm sorry." That made me laugh. That was great. What you said is 100% accurate, but Freddie made me laugh when he said, "True," because Black Rob Woe's song was trash, but Mike, you liked it, so it's okay. That's hilarious. Come on, that was the only good song he had. Right? That was the only good song he had. So it can't be the worst. But so I love what you said, and there's so much to that, and I really suffered with what you said, right? Because I come from where loyalty is big, right? Be loyal to your people, right? And if you're not loyal to your people, what are you, right? And it was very hard for me. So before I wanted to go on the journey, I wanted to have my team, right?
Right?
Like my squad, and we went through different parts of life together. And I was like, hey, we're gonna do this now, right? We used to. I didn't like the smirk he made when I said that. We used to do like some illegal things together. Now we want to do legal things together. No, but all right, like he made that smirk, like, yeah, I know what you guys did, right? No, but the idea is, I wanted that team, I wanted that squad, right? Like I wanted them with me. So before I started on my journey, I went to every one of them, talked to them, right? Hey, listen, this is what we're about to do. Like, let's roll, right? And about what 2 years in, one of them is with us riding, right? Like one of them's still part of the set, right? And what I had to learn, which was the hardest thing for me, was that you find your people on the journey. You don't find them before you set off on it, right? So as bad as you want certain people to be part of things and involved in things, and as much as you want that, you can't force that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So it's you got to start on the journey, and then you're going to link up with people along the way at different times and for different lengths, and they're going to be like, yes, let's roll, like this is our thing, let's go do this, right? and and you're going to see their passion and their heart. You're going to see how you guys align. You're going to see how you guys support one another. And it's like now I laugh because the squad, like the set we have, I use all kinds of names, right? People are like, what? Right? And I'm like, we call it the family, right? But like the set we have now, like they cheer louder for me when I win than I cheer for me when I win,
Mm.
right? Like we went and played this like weird like bingo game. Like we try to do anything we can to keep together and build chemistry, build culture, right? We go play this weird bingo game, and I find like I never won. Right, like everybody else on earth that played this game has won. I never won. Right, and finally one night I win, and I'm like, yeah, right, like because I don't handle success well. Right, right? So I don't handle success calmly. Right, like I scream. Right, I look like a Viking. I act like a Viking. It's fine. Right, and but as I scream, everybody else at the table like erupts louder than me, so no one even heard me. And the guy didn't even know who won the bingo because so many people were screaming. Right, so he's like, "Did every one of you guys win? Like, who won?" And the guy literally said, "I wish I had people that wanted me to win so bad." And I was just like, when he said that, I was like, "That's so true." Like, That's why I love the Unleashed community. We want each other to win. Like we're not like, no, you guys. Like there was people. I literally had someone that I thought was like one of my road dogs, right? One of my brothers from another. For years and years and years, we had that relationship. He literally said to me, "I didn't like to see you win if I wasn't winning, if I wasn't the reason why or part of it." Well, I'm like, how do you say that to someone you say you love? Like, what? Like you got to be part of it, or you got to do it for me to win? That sounds weird, right? Like it's like at first I thought it was like I was hearing things. I was like, what? Right? Like maybe this just doesn't make sense to me, right? Like so it's understanding that you got to embark on the journey to see who are going to be your guides along your roadies or your partners, whatever whatever name anybody wants to give. I used a lot of weird names. The whatever name you want to give them to see who's going to be with you during that journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So the longer you hold yourself back from that, the less likely you are to find your people. Like remember, however we connected, you took that chance to connect with me, right? Because you were moving along your journey. We had to meet somewhere. Right? We didn't just meet at the store. I didn't go to the store in Canada. I don't think you've been to Delaware. All right.
No.
Right. So it wasn't like we just saw each other in the store and we're like, damn, we should be Facebook friends.
Yeah. Right.
Like, clearly, we both were embarking in this journey somewhere, and our journeys crossed, and we were like, "Oh, this is pretty dope. Let's see if we can walk a little together at times."
Yeah.
All right, and got you here. So the more you do that, the more you'll find your people.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's only been in the last 2 or 3 months where, I finally looked at my family. I thought if they want to come along, if they want to see what I'm doing, they will do it. I was trying to prove myself to my family, and I just had a moment of, you don't need to, and they will follow if they want to, and if they don't, that's cool, right? Because it's not like I'm following everybody's journey either.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, like I think the biggest disservice I'll do myself and a lot of other people is if I keep thinking just about my immediate family and friends, then the potential of not sort of skyrocketing to where I want to. And I've said to people, I want to be on a big stage someday. And the only way I'm going to do it is if I truly just keep moving ahead and not justify why I'm doing it, not try and analyze it when somebody close to me says something, because then I'm just going to run in the opposite direction. And then I'm going to have to sort of, pick up those lost steps and catch back up with myself. And there are just days, Michael, when it's like, you got to keep going. And there are days when I've, been hitting my head against a brick wall going, what the hell are you doing? But there's this part of me that says, you have just keep going. Like you're getting there and just keep going, keep going. And I sometimes look at, like I said, success has always meant money to me. And I think you got to simplify these things so that you don't stop, because I can see so many people getting to the end of this year and going, I'm not a success because I don't have the $1 million bank account.
Mm.
And but don't look at, like I had to, don't look at it that way. I mean, I got a jar here that has all, kinds of interesting things I've done this year. And I'm going to have to go through it and go, but you have been a success. You've done things you weren't thinking of doing or that you had even imagined doing. And I don't like the term saying if I can do it, someone else can, because I don't know what anyone else can do. Like half the time I don't even know what the hell I can do. So I got no saying, but I got to keep going. And that is such a powerful thing to say, just keep going. Just, it's there. It's there. Just, and let the other people who are telling you it's there and to believe in it, because they will hold you up when you're ready to go. I'm done. Like, I'm just done.
That's so true, and also I love that. Like, keep going. It's a powerful phrase,
Yeah.
right? One of my buddies has that tattooed on his wrist. So it just says "keep going," right? And so what happens with success? We normally look at success as a single thing, right?
Mm.
Me and you had a conversation about success this past weekend, right? And or 2 weekends ago, right? I don't want you to pull out the exact date and be like, "You're wrong," right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Michael,
9
get it
days.
right.
I'm sorry, right? And we were talking about like what success is, how to measure it, right? And all too often we look at it as just one thing, like $1 million in a bank,
Yeah.
success, right? What we don't look is the journey of success. And when you were talking to me about like, success, how you defined it, right? And I said, all right, are you doing what it takes to create it? And that's one of the biggest things to look at, because I was in the same boat a couple years ago in 2019, and even some of 2019, because I took a hell of a risk and it did not work. But I said that at the time, I took a hell of a risk and it didn't work. I said, I was like, I lost almost 6 figures doing this risk, and I was like, oh my God, it's over. Like, they're gonna beat my drum, right? Like, it's a wrap, Jack, right? Like, you did it for the last time, because I've lost 6 figures multiple times. So it's less like, this is it, right? Like, you've done it this time, pony boy, right? Like I was in the movie Outsiders. And the just so we know the reference. I don't know what else reference that could be to, and I don't want to find out. So I'm going to say where the reference came from. And what a mentor of mine told me was like, listen, 2019, you were digging for success. Like you were building a foundation for it. And if you didn't do that, you wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Okay.
So even during your struggle where you didn't see success, it was because you were creating success. You were creating the opportunity to be able to have it. Because if you didn't do these things to build those relationships, if you didn't do those things to serve, if you didn't do those things to impact, none of those people would be coming to help the income part. Mm. Right? And there's an equation: the greater you impact, the greater your income. And it was, but first you have to impact, and not like, hey, and even, I mean, some people, like, here's a pretzel, I've impacted that person, they gave me $1. Because the impact wasn't that great. I could have lived without that pretzel and went and found something else to eat. Right? I can get a McDouble at McDonald's for $1. Right? So it's for the same dollar. Right? So it's about what kind of impact are you doing? How much impact are you doing? How often are you impacting? And then those things combined then can equal an income. Right? But that comes first. So all too often we're looking at the final destination of success, what we believe it to be, mm-hmm. and we're missing that we're creating its possibilities by all the stuff we're doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was doing. It was like nothing I had done from January to now mattered. It was like there was nothing there. Like I couldn't even see it, because all I went was, the income isn't there. And it was a light bulb moment. And I do love when I have those moments of, do you realize what you're doing? You've just taken everything that you've done up until this point, and you've put it into a ball and gone, yeah, that was great. And this is all you're focusing in on. And when you have those moments, I think they're pivotal, but you have to notice them. And I'm so grateful that I noticed it. I'm so grateful I reached out, because if you can't get that and you keep seeing, and society hasn't helped with that. I mean, society thinks the only way you can be successful is if you got the $1 million bank account, and like the belief system is just, drives me absolutely stupid most days, because it's like, are you kidding me? And I know I have control of my thoughts, but most days, if you were in my brain, you go, you haven't got jack shit control over anything because of the way you are going, right? And it's like, you got to stop. Can you just get it in a way that makes sense, that's helpful to you, versus you're making a hole in the wall now because you've been throwing yourself against it so much. Like it's so mind-boggling to me how we take our thoughts and go all the negative, and you just put those in front of you, and that's what you see. And yet the positive are all around you, but oh God, no, not going to look at them. And I think part of it is because if you look at the positives, then it's almost like, well, then I need to do something and I got to keep moving. Right. I almost think there's that too, that if I just focus on the negative, then I don't have to do anything else, because it's shit anyway. So why would you bother? Versus there's a lot of positive. You're doing something that you love to do, or you're going in a direction you want to go. So focus on the positive, because it's going to get you there. The negative will never get you where you want to go. I get seeing it, going through it, and you've talked about that, and other people have talked about this whole going through the emotions. And I did that on the weekend too. If you'd been here, you probably would have laughed at me, but it was a moment of, I had to get the anger out. I had to get out. So I did some really batshit crazy stuff. But when I got through doing it, then I could just, okay, calm myself down, and I carried on, and I got done when I needed to get done. But it was like, sometimes you got to do it. And I'm not like that. Like, I keep it all bottled up, and it's like, don't want you to see this anger that can come out in me some days. It's like, you just need to see this. See how good I am, just like this. Don't need to see the anger side of me. But it's, if I can help others, or just, speak my vulnerability and the crap I've been going through and what I've put myself through all on my own. No one else has helped me do this, because I can do it just fine on my own. Yeah, that's great. And if it doesn't, as you say, if it doesn't land with someone it's not meant to, they're on their own journey, and they'll go and follow whoever or wherever or whatever they need to, right? So I'm grateful that I think I'm finally starting to get it, and enough that I can untangle the mess and look at it for what it is and go, now keep moving. Just, the door's over there. Can you just keep walking towards it? Because you need to get to that door.
Right, I love that. And it goes back all the way to when you state about changing your idea of success. Listen, we live in a time where people take pictures of their food plates, post it on Instagram, and say, "Don't you wish you were me?" Right? Like, people rent houses for an hour, make an ad in front of the house saying, "Don't you wish what you had what I had?" and then put the ad out there. The person made buku money off that ad saying about, "Don't you want what I have?" He rented something for an hour. Right? So it was like, I mean, right? So the idea is like, we live in this world where, remember the show Rich and Famous?
Yeah.
Right? And everybody would watch that show for some odd reason and be like, "Oh my God, we so want this." Right? And I fell into this exact trap of like, the material makes me something.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why when I was younger, I bought the big house, right? Like, I had like a 4,000 square foot house. I had a Cadillac Escalade, right? Like, I think I had more rooms than people I liked. Right? Like, there's no room, no reason for that. I'm including family. I don't like many of them either. But the blood family, my love family, I love all. But the idea was like, we created this mindset where that made us something.
Yeah.
Like, that spoke for us. And we have to get to the point where that doesn't speak for us. Listen, I know some really great people that are struggling financially. Right? Struggling. Don't know if they can pay rent, kind of struggling, right? I know some really great people that have multiple homes, right? Multiple cars, that travel privately on private jets, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like, right? I know some really shitty people that have really nice homes, all right? Multiple cars and multiple vacations. I know some really shitty people that are broke as a joke, all right? It's at least any joke I say, because my jokes are horrible. So I don't think that we have to get out of the mindset that determines anything about us other than what we have. Right?
Yeah.
I started not wearing a watch because I'm timeless, and or it's on my phone, either one. But it's just the idea of like, things that I used to think were so important, right? Priorities, you have to view priorities differently. What is success for your life? What is your legacy about? And this is one thing that I was asked, that I was like, shit, I don't know any. And I know I've experienced a lot of loss in my life, right? And I don't know at any of them what their bank account was when I lost them. Mm. Not a single one. And I was like, damn, that's some real shit. I don't know a single one of their bank accounts.
And we've lost them again. Come on back, Michael.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Trust the old internet. You're welcome, Delaware. Mm-hmm. Am I back?
Yes, you are back.
So I was gonna say, thank God you said that, because I was about to say all kinds of crazy shit. No, but all right. It's your heart, not whether you're rich or poor. 100%. I'm gonna put that up. Sandy's awesome, by the way. So to me, it was like, let's figure out how we can define what we truly as true success of our life. All right. And when I was going through all this stuff and really caught up in material, someone asked me this question. I could not answer it. And that's what changed a lot of my vision was, have you made anyone's life better by you being here? And I was like, shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Right.
know I made some not better. So I got a lot of making up to do.
Yeah. I can honestly say that I used material things, and I still do every once in a while, to make me feel better. But the really sad thing about that is 5 seconds after I've, spent the money on whatever, there've been a lot of things I've gone, "And you did that for what reason?" Like, it's filled absolutely no void. As I say, money can't buy you happiness. It can definitely maybe help with some of the stuff, but it's not going to buy you happiness. And, I look at some things now, and I kinda thank COVID a little bit because it slowed me down because I wasn't able to go out. Like, when we were first locked down, it's like you're not going anywhere unless you're getting groceries, and that's about the extent of it. And that's another belief that, the more toys you have when you die, you're a winner. And it was so curious because I've listened to Wayne Dyer, and I'm a big fan of his, and he said, "When you die, it's not going with you. Like, seriously, you're not taking anything except, basically the shirt in your back, if you will. So what's the point?" And I look at some of the stuff I've gotten, I go, there are people in my family who are not going to want this stuff. Like, they're gonna look at it and go, "That was nice, but gone." And yeah, I'm beginning to understand, I get a lot more joy out of talking to people and impacting them because they've read something that I've written that really resonates with them, or I simply have a conversation with someone and they go, "Thank you so much." Like, money is never going to do it's never gonna give me that sense. It will, yeah, make me comfortable, and, so I can put food on the table, roof over my head. But there is a lot to be said for having a conversation with someone, and when you're done that conversation, they're going, "Thank you so much. Like, I needed that today. You've given me, now I can keep going." Like, yeah, money's helpful, but it's just never gonna rock your world the way being there for someone else or impacting someone else's life.
Right. Money's an exchange policy. What used to be furs and eggs, right? And like metals and coins, right? Like money became it, and money became it because uh, areas, governments knew it was easier to control,
Mm,
right? They couldn't tax your eggs so much. They can tax your money, right? So it's, if you look at money, it's just an exchange policy. That's all it is, right? It can get me to be able to hang out with my people more, right? Like it gives me this internet and this monitor and things I use to be able to connect with you. If
yeah,
I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to, right? It gives me the ability to fly somewhere and meet up with some of my people if they're going through something, right? Like it gives the opportunity, opportunity and ability to impact more people's life, right? So it's like, it's an exchange policy.
yeah,
What are you willing to exchange it for? You know why you pay your heat bill? Because you want heat,
yeah.
all right? If I didn't want heat, I wouldn't pay it, right? And believe me, one time I had this standoff with Chagrin Gas. It was hilarious because I was just like, nah, I don't care. I take cold showers anyway. Right? And it was like, it was like fall. So I was like, I don't need heat and I take cold showers. So I'm cool. Right. Like, and I was like, literally, at one point in my life, I don't think I showered more than once a week. Right. So I'm like, I'm easy. Right. Like, and like, it's hard. It's hard. So I'm like, I'm being a real pissant about it. I'm like, nah, I'm not, because they didn't tell me anything. They were sending my bills to the wrong address because we moved. So I didn't get a bill. And they're like, why didn't you think about looking for it? I'm like, I don't think about looking for my bills when you're supposed to send them to me. Right. Like, right. So like Freddie said ill when I said the shower comment, but maybe it was the cold shower comment. It's probably the shower comment. But cold showers actually help your body in different ways too. Look it up. Anyway, uh, or talk to AJ Vassar because that dude loves making people take cold showers. But the idea was like, I only need this if I need it. Right? Like, I don't have to exchange this if I don't want to. Right? So it's like, HBO, you can cancel it today. You don't need to pay that bill. It's an exchange policy. As long as it's worth it to you, do it. When it's not serving you anymore, don't do it. Right? And it's that simple. And if we figure that out, what are we exchanging it for? All right. What are we exchanging it for? Are you exchanging it for things that don't really serve you, that don't give you fulfillment? Listen, if you're exchanging it for something that a couple days later you forgot about, or it doesn't do the same for you,
Yeah.
it's probably not what your soul needs.
Yeah.
All right. And he said, "Wash your ass." I'm putting that on there. So the idea is, I definitely do need to. So it's me. It's like, think about what you're exchanging your money for, ROI, return on investment, but also what are you exchanging your time for, ROT. All right. What's your return on time? Uh, my schedule, my daily schedule, dramatically changed when I started looking at what I was spending my time in and what I was getting in return from it. All right, because some of the people that were unhealthy relationships that I was just feeling miserable after, I'm like, why am I giving my time for something that I feel miserable after? Like, that's silly, right? Like, some of the hobbies I had that I was just like, I get mad. Like, I used to want to play golf, and I hate golf. And I'm like, but the guys I knew were playing golf, and they're like, this is how people conduct business now. And I'm like, I'm a businessman. Right. So let me go play golf. And at the end of the golf, like, everybody'd be like, that was great. And I'd be like cursing up a storm, like slamming clubs down, like having to go buy new balls because I lost all my balls. And my dad always told me, never play a sport that you lose your balls playing. And I don't know if he meant golf balls, but the idea was like, it's like, why am I spending my time like 4 hours in a day to do something that literally caused me nothing but aggravation, irritation, right? And I had to change how I view playing golf. And when I play now, I literally am just playing if I like the people I'm going to play with. I don't care. I don't even keep score, right? Like, I can't do any of that, because if I do that, it's just going to be miserable for me because I'm way too competitive, right? So it's got to be in a way. It's got to be in a way that's serving. How is it serving me and serving people, right, that I care about and that I love?
Yeah. When I think about time lost, oh my gosh, I have wasted more time than I care to. I mean, it's not linear to me anymore. Time is just time. And like, oh yeah, I shouldn't even go down that rabbit hole, because the amount of time I have seriously lost because of the negative spinning out of control that's gone on, and doing things that I haven't really wanted to do. So that's the other thing, is learning to say no to things, because, for me, it's always been too easy to say yes. And, you hear every once in a while that people think you should say yes to absolutely everything. And I got to a point where I'm going, but if I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to want to do it, and the look on my face is pretty much going to say, she does not want to be here doing this right now. Like, it's not helping anyone, right? So our time, it's valuable and it can be worthwhile, but it's putting it on the right things. And that's when my creativity, and when I'm really in that zone, it's so worth my time. And when I get excited talking to people about the creativity that they have in their lives and what it can do for you, I mean, the energy just, well, it may not be spinning off me right now, but the energy is normally spinning off of me. And people are just like, you got so much energy and power behind you. Why would you not keep going in the direction you're going? Like, there's time well spent, versus the, putting around the house doing the dishes because, well, they're piling up by the sink. Like, they're going to be there later. Don't worry about that. But we have this precious commodity. It is, here forever and a day, even after we're gone. Time will still be here. And it's wrapping your head around doing what is worthwhile, that you love to do and makes you happy. I mean, crap. I see so many people out there that aren't happy, and it's such a demoralizing thing when you're doing shit you're not happy doing, or that doesn't make any sense. And I think I've sort of totally gone off on a different trail with all of this, but I really don't care.
Yeah, no, I like it. We said before the show, we're just letting it go wherever it goes. So it's rolling wherever it's rolling. And time, I think time is like the most valuable asset, right? Like, resource on earth, because it's something that we don't get back, right? Like, you can take all my money. Like I said, if you want to know how to save money, I'm the worst person to talk to, right? Like, making money, I can do some of it, right? But losing money, I do really well, right? Like, and saving it, I don't do that well, right? And like, I always listen to that Jimmy Buffett song, like, I bought enough money to buy Miami and I pissed it away so fast. And I think that line signifies my life. I just didn't know it before. but it's like, to me, it's always things like, I'm not big on the structure necessarily of things, but I'm big on being able to measure things. Because if we can measure something, we can manage it, right? That's what they say.
Mm.
So I don't know who they are, but they said it.
Yeah, right. And they're right, you know.
I said it again because I thought they were right. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to be able to measure something so I can manage it. So I measure my time and measure it in hours because that's what they tell us to, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what am I doing that, and how is this impacting people I care about? How is this helping people I care about? How is this helping me? How is this making me better? Because sometimes, like people talk about self-care, and I think self-care is becoming dangerously close to selfish, the way some people are promoting and spewing it. And I think it's very important to remember that that's not one and the same, right? Self-care is things that make me better for the people I serve and care about, for the people I impact, for the people that are in my circles, right? And how many different circles you have is on you, whatever. And it's like, so I know I need to take care of this so I can serve better, right? And I think all too often we don't measure enough, right? Like, this is what we run into, especially, I don't know about everybody on earth, right? So I don't know about if Canadians do this. I do know us Americans, us
Yeah,
foolish
you
bastards,
Americans.
right? Us foolish bastards. We do this, right? And we do a New Year's resolution,
Oh.
right? And I literally, I want to smack people with pans, right? Because people go outside and hit pans. I don't know why they do that either, right? But I want to smack someone with that pan when they do that, because I'm like, this is what we do. We make this goal on the 1st, and a year later we go, oh, how far did we come? I'm like, you looked at it once in a year, right? Like, it's like, so the idea of this is like, what if we measured that like every month, or like every week, or shit, every day? Like, what if you measured what you were doing? So then when you start veering off track, right, you could course correct quicker, right? Rather than being like, oh shit, it's 365 days later and I didn't get there, right? Like, think about if that's how we actually did travel. Like, just fuck it, right? Like, let's look. Okay, the trip takes 7 hours. At 7 hours, look and see where we are on the map. Like, that wouldn't that be dumb as shit, right? Like, so it's like things that are dumb to me, right? Like, imagine, especially first travel, there was like sundial shit where they figured out by the sun what direction they were going, which is way beyond my intelligence, right? And imagine if they were like, all right, wait a week and then check the sundial and see if we're off course. Right? Like, why are we doing that? Like, that's so silly to me. We're not putting ourselves in a position. I love this, so I'm going to show it. We're not putting ourselves in a position to really accomplish what we want, or even greater than. I remember earlier you said, I don't really like to say anyone can do anything because I don't know them, right? And I said, I always think if anyone can, everyone can. Because there's as long as you're willing to put in whatever that person put in, or maybe even more so, depending on your body and structure and understanding, you can do it, right? Like, it's been done. And what's funny is, like, you can see time and time again, history shows us, someone thinks something can't happen, someone does it, all of a sudden a million people can do it.
Yeah.
No one can run a 4-minute mile. A guy runs a 4-minute mile. That same year, 12 other people run the 4-minute mile. It's like, what the hell? No one can do it. 13 people can do it, right? Like, it's like, so it's like in 1 year, right? So it's like, to me, it's always like, sometimes we just need to see it to believe it.
True.
All right. I think sometimes people can't not see something and have their vision painted. They need to see it done and then go, okay, I can do it. Like my daughter, for example, straight freaking A's. I don't know where that came from, because I got opposite of straight A's. All right. And but for her, she needs to see it done. Right. Like, and listen, she's like 17, but like when she was 16, a whole year ago, I was like, hey, can you vacuum the upstairs? And she's like, I don't do that. I was like, you plug in the vent, you hit on, and you do this, right? Like, it's not science, right? Like, if I can do it, you can do it, right? Like, and she's like, Dad, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I never, and she gets all like, I'm like, how are you my kid right now, right? Like, because oh my God, it's like, I can be in a shootout and be more calm, right? So I'm like, I have to plug in the vacuum. I have to show her how to, and then she's like, oh, that's so easy. I can do that. I know. That's what I said. Right. But it's like that's her mindset. I need to see it, and then I'll believe I can do it. Right. And so I understand that's how she learns, that's how she operates, even though it drives me crazy. So sometimes people just have that mindset where I need to see it, right? That belief system. So to me, when we talk about these things, if we're not able to manage or measure these things faster and quicker, then we're going to struggle longer. And I don't like to struggle. Sometimes I like a little punishment, wink, wink, but I don't like the struggle. No, but I don't like the struggle. All right. And it's funny. I forget who said it, but there's a difference between pain and struggle. And pain is the shattering of one's reality, right? Which I don't necessarily always believe, but I think that's the internal pain, right? And struggle is refusing to shape a new reality. And I was like, oh, that's kind of dope, right? Because the pain is the shattering. Struggle is when we keep thinking that one that shattered is coming back, right? And we don't.
Yeah, so we're going to go through it again.
Right, and we're just continually going through it because we're not reshaping that reality. We're not creating that new reality, right? It's like why I struggled after my boy died. I had the pain of it, but then I kept trying to create life like he was here, right? Like, no, I'm living for both of us, right? Like he's here too because I'm here, right? Like, and it's like, hold on, time out, right? Like, take a deep breath. He's not, right? And as bad as that sucks, he's not. And what can I do to make it better because he was here? And that was a big shift in my life and how I acted in my life and what kind of life I wanted to live after I started thinking that way rather than me trying to create life with him still in it when he wasn't here. All right. So, and being able to, the quicker we can get out of that struggle, right, the farther we're going to get, the more impact we're going to have, the more people we're going to come in contact with, our relationships are going to be better, our wealth and health will be better, right? Because dis-ease causes disease, right? You're welcome. I didn't create that either, by the way, just so you know. I don't have an original thought in my body, just so we're aware. Like, you're not accusing me of being Jay Shetty anytime now or in the future. I'm not stealing anybody's shit and trying to pretend like it's mine. Everything I say is someone else's. Everything I do is someone else's. It's fine. Right? It's like I just don't want you to be like, no. Right? Like grand gesture and page 17 of this book said that. I'm like, oh shit, all right. Got me. All right. So but we're going longer than expected. But so tell everybody where they can find you, where they connect with you, and where they can see more about what you do.
Well, the best place to go to start is Let It Pour Creations on Facebook. That's where my art is listed. And then well done, Michael. Thank you.
That was me pouring, if you're wondering. Me pouring some creations. If you want to take that video section and have that in your intro, I'm fine with it. I'm just letting you know. I'll sign off. You don't have to give me any loyalties or royalties or anything. Yeah. Loyalty or royalty. You can take it all. And
that's going to get the $1 million account going really fast, right?
Yes, my creepy ass pour.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, so Let It Pour Creations. I'm also on LinkedIn, and I also have a right page on Facebook as well. It's just under Natalie Merritt Broderick. So, yeah, you'll find me out there. You'll find me out there. I'm getting myself out there more, so people are going to learn who I am and hopefully follow me. And if they don't, then that's totally cool. They're on their own journey, and I want them to get where they need to go when they need to get there. That's what it's all about, right? It's the journey. It's your journey, so take it where it needs to go.
I actually knew how great I was at pouring. She said I missed my calling. And listen, Natalie's very humble to the point of where it annoys me. Right? So Natalie wouldn't say this, so I'll say it. Like, listen, if you want to see how creativity can change your life, can enhance your life in any aspect, it is talking with her and doing just a couple of things with her enhanced the way I look at my business and the vision of it and where it's going and the movement behind UnleashU now. And it's definitely spun me in another direction that was awesome, and I absolutely love it. And I'll forever be thankful for that. But also relationships, like whatever you're trying to do and move, the creativity she uses to open your eyes and create with creativity to have vision and what you're trying to do. I haven't seen someone that does it the way she does it, how she does it, and as profound as she does it. So I will say that to Natalie. So you can be humble all you want. I'll talk that shit.
Well, yeah, and then of course I'm sitting here going, oh, now he's really throwing me out into the stadium and going, so just stand there and let the people come to you.
All right, welcome to the arena.
Like I try and hide really well. I've done a really good job for the last 54 years. Who are you to come along and go, nope, there you go.
Yeah, you're welcome. I acted like I was all nice and I got right behind you, and I kicked you right out the door.
Pretty much. Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
You came to be unleashed.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the club.
Yeah, yeah, and I am so glad I have. I mean, as I say, it's been an interesting year, but it's definitely a year where I've learned a lot about myself, about others, about who to just let them go on their own journey, and to for sure keep following my journey because I know in my heart that if I don't follow where I'm meant to go, I am seriously going to get to the end of my life and go, I do not want to come back and have to do this shit all over again. So let's just do it now. Let's do it now.
Do it. It's now. We're doing it live. We do it now. We do it live.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. That's the best way.
Yeah.
No hiding. No more hiding.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you have purple hair, for Christ's sake.
Maybe with a little teal and blue thrown into
Yeah,
the
I dig it. It's one of my favorite things about you. Yeah.
yeah,
Absurd, right?
it's so funny. Someone kind of questioned about me being so silent and quiet and whatnot, and they said, "Have you seen your hair?" Well, yeah, but what's that got to do with whether I throw myself out there or not? Like, yeah, the purple hair is. It's funny what some of the things I will do, but yet I'll tell people how quiet and shy I am, and I'll just stand in the corner and just watch people. Like, so it's interesting. Some people will tell you she's not quiet. Don't buy into that. She is not quiet.
No, I don't think you're quiet.
Yeah,
But I
of
do
course
love the people watch.
you do what?
I do love the people watch, though.
Yes. Yeah, it's
People are
fun.
interesting beings. I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Natalie, thank you so much for taking time and spending with me today and letting everybody know how to get a hold of you and how you can impact their life and change their life. That's what we're all about. Living life unleashed here at Unleash You Now.
Thank you.
And if you want more of us, you can definitely find us in the Unleashed family group on Facebook.
Absolutely.
So.
Thank you so much, Michael, for your time today and for throwing me into the arena of life and where I'm meant to go. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, guys. Until next time, as always, peace, love, and happiness. Peace. We out.